Hello friends, my name's Chris Armstrong. You'll have noticed that I'm doing a lot of peers compost at the moment. That's not really going to stop for a little while. We're 3 weeks away from the big event and I'm very excited. Yesterday I published Diary of a Conference Programme Chair and today I'm going to read it for you. So let's just go straight down. Here's a lovely picture of me and Simon, smiling and happy outside the event. Apparently I don't keep my eyes open for photographs, please forgive me. Now, I'll be honest, I still don't really think we know quite what we're doing here at Peers HQ, but I do know that we're putting our heart and souls into the PeersCon events. I hope here to offer just a wee peek behind the sorts of activities that we have been undertaking to make this conference happen. What's in a name? As a collective, we already had the name Testing Peers, something that Simon Pryor is to blame for. And when we've been teasing a conference as far back as 2022, PeersCon had sort of been mooted as the title, sort of like a shorthand for Testing Peers Conference. And PeersCon, it speaks to the collective, a community, a collaboration between peers, and perhaps the omission of testing from the title helps to expand on some of what some people will see as a narrow demographic of testing as we seek to address testing, software quality, agility and leadership. The venue was interesting because we kind of just started off with not London and then we went from there. Nothing against London, but you've kind of got all the cool stuff already. Now, as the original four of us were spread across the UK, we ended up aiming for somewhere kind of in the Midlands. It makes sense, right? Somewhere with good transport links, somewhere that could do catering and feel like a proper conference experience without breaking the bank. We'd shortlisted Birmingham and Nottingham, and eventually we settled on a venue that was known to me, the Trent Conference Centre in Nottingham. Once we'd agreed to definitely go for it, that part was actually relatively simple. We chose a date. We were aiming for a time of year when it was less traditional conference season, but also not going to clash with any existing traditional holidays, half terms, Easter, those sorts of things. So last year was March 14th, this year March 13th. And the price, well, look, we're acutely aware there's a cost of living crisis going on and that companies are tightening their belts, perhaps not having so much in terms of training conference budgets, but we also know that there is so much value in conference attendance from groupthink, learning, networking and more. It's an experience that we want so many more people to have, but we know that for some costs can be prohibitive. So we aimed for a low, really low price point and we shared our estimated costs on the front page of the website. Transparency in pricing has been key to ensuring that attendees understand where their money goes. Tickets have been handled through Eventbrite and they're still available on a link which you're going to find in the show notes. Pay to speak. Now there's a load written about this in our community and beyond. We're a not-for-profit. No one running this event is taking any expenses and we are all incurring costs for the event to take place. We hope that if the event grows, partnerships mature and so on, then this model can be changed for the better. Undoubtedly, if we were for that's a hard word to say, isn't it? If we were a for-profit model, this would be a very different proposition. But then I think it probably would mean a loss of identity. We address this head on as we want everyone to know because we think it's important and you should know about this up front. Different folks have written about this and we encourage you to look up these things for yourself. So I've attached a link in the post here, I'll put them in the show notes. Marat Pahiavi wrote about a post on it on LinkedIn a short while ago. Andy Knight, the automation panda, put a blog about whether he thinks pay to speak is evil. Check those links out. I really, really strongly encourage you to sort of take a look. In terms of money and sponsorship, as mentioned, this is an event that fundamentally leans on partnerships with sponsors. Otherwise, the four of us would incur financial costs that, none of us needs in our lives. For PeersCon 24, we partnered with NTT Data, Intellica, Medtronic, Enfocus Testing, and Cambridge Consultants. And for PeersCon 25, we are announcing partnerships leading up to the event already with NTT Data, Enfocus, Cambridge Consultants, and Intellica returning, with also Capacitas joining, with more to come. We've got a charter that ensures that partners align with our values, and without them, frankly, events will not happen, and we're eternally grateful for their ongoing support. And we've got more about partnerships found on the site here. Again, links in the show notes. This is taken directly from the front page of the website. I think it's important to share. It says, after the success of the first ever Testing Peers conference in 2024, we've decided to do it again. This time, bigger and better. We're hoping to host 300 people this time. We're staying in Nottingham, UK, with the event running from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. on the 13th March 2025. Again, this year it will be a not-for-profit, low-budget, slightly punk, and very much peer-focused, friendly testing conference. Sorry, Richard Bradshaw, we didn't mean to steal that. Now, like the Testing Peers podcast, we will focus on leadership, quality and testing. It's going to be run by the community, for the community, and will welcome anyone, from people new to testing and wanting to get into the field, development, product, delivery, or even CEOs. Our aim is to be a low-cost event with a couple of tracks, largely funded through sponsorship, and we'll release tickets in 2 rounds, which we did. The early bird costing £15, that was to the end of November, and then standard tickets costing £25. And to be upfront, we will not be paying speakers for this event. We appreciate this isn't ideal, but we aim to be a low-cost event with a few sponsors. Any money that we don't spend on the event will go to sponsoring people to attend other great events, or to charities nominated by speakers. It's a choice, and we are aware it will limit some who will attend or submit talks, and we will continue to look at options around this. And then we've got some costs there around the venue, sound, media, food costs, marketing, merchandise, and a total that we are forecasting for this year. Now, Programme Committee. This year I had the pleasure of being added as the Programme Chair. It's a big job. I've probably done too much, but we didn't have enough time last year. PeersCon 24 had a rapid turnaround of less than 5 months from when we decided to actually do it to the event taking place. The organisation was just handled by those original 4 of us, myself, Russell, David and Simon. That isn't sustainable. It's not inclusive, and it's not actually representative of the Testing Peers community. I took on the role as the programme chair this year, and it was the first time that we'd formalised the role, and we sought to bring some other wonderful folks in from the testing and software quality world along on their journey. Folks new and old in their careers, consultants and ICs, all round awesome humans in the form of Kat Obbering, Bruce, Joe Richard Steele and Yogita Ladd. We agreed on the theme and we kept in touch, and then once the reviews had happened, we shaped our wonderful programme for this year's event. We had a theme for this year and last. For PeersCon 24, the theme was being, not doing. A commentary on the idea that doing things without appreciating their rationale and purpose reduces their value and impact. You don't just do Agile if you don't first understand agility, its principles, etc. And the same applies to testing. You don't just do it. You appraise, analyse, explore and more. For PeersCon 25, the theme is Testing Horizons. There are many seasons in our careers and our industry, new and false dawns, things coming to an end, things shining a light on them, things that still operate in the darkness, near and short perspectives, big and small pictures. You get the idea. Now we have a website, testingpeerscon.com. This isn't my forte, but thankfully there are good people in the testing peers community who actually are. Russell Cracksford's been wonderful at keeping tabs on things, and Callum Akehurst Ryan has been our graphics king. The website also enables us to use forms for collaboration and partnership opportunities all in one place. Next up, the volunteers. If you'll pardon the pun, these folks help make the day happen. From signposting, registration and track chairing, these folks in their brightly coloured shirts will ensure that the delegates get to where they're supposed to be at the right time, while making the speaker experience as smooth as possible. They're awesome, and this event would not happen without them. If you ever get the opportunity to volunteer at an event, you should strongly consider it. It might not be easy, but it is wonderful. The CFP, Call for Papers, or as we called it, collaboration. We decided that we're a bit more interested in the seed of an idea that we could then collaborate on than just a full-blown abstract at times. We opened up video submissions to accommodate those who struggle to write. Certainly, formal writing. It's not an easy thing, and we wanted to also have open the option of other, alongside traditional talk workshop options, allowing for more creative proposals. And this has already yielded sessions like the 9 out of 10 testers group last year, and Defend the Indefensible that's going to happen this year. I'm very excited about that one. That is a funny activity. The review process. Now for PeersCon 24, with its limited timeline, the 4 of us handled reviews with like a RAG status and optional feedback. I was desperate to improve this process. So this year I introduced a definitive scoring with mandatory reviewer feedback. And we had 21 reviewers, which was a huge learning experience, a big time undertaking. But it greatly helped shape the programme. I've put a post up today thanking those reviewers. Their time they've given for this has helped make this the best programme. As I write this, well, I read this now, you know. I just finished emailing every collaborator to offer them the option to receive review feedback. Not everyone's going to want this, but it's important that they've got the choice. Transparency and feedback is crucial to fostering learning and improvement. Optics. Okay. Sometimes people call this an elephant in the room. 4 white guys doing a podcast, right? We believe representation matters. I'm not always going to make the right decisions, but I'm always going to be receptive to respectful feedback, and I'm going to act on it. Some brilliant humans in our industry have already challenged me personally on optics and diversity, and it's something I'm grateful for. I might not always be left feeling wonderful by it, but thank goodness for it, and I hope the changes that we're making are well received and we can continue to iterate on it. Socials and collaboration. Look, you might see a bit of spam. I'm going to call it spam. A lot of output from the Blue Sky and the LinkedIn areas of testing peers. I think we probably need to do a little bit better at promoting the event and the podcast, and probably asking for more help and feedback on those areas. Like, otherwise we get to the point when we just take too much work on. It's like everyday life. It's a lot. Collaboration is key, and we do need to improve on this area, and I hope we do. Meetings and communication. Look, finding time for calls, that's been tough. But async comms via Slack, email and collaboration tools have helped us to shape the programme and the event organisation. I think kind of going to that work from home model with a lot more of these tools has certainly helped with us being able to do those things. We did a retrospective on PeersCon 24. We recorded an episode last year, and you can listen. I'll put another thing in the show notes. And there's a special shout out to David, who does so much work behind the scenes with editing. Russell as well. David, though, he's been the most prolific host of the podcast, so kudos to him. Now, on the day of the event, we did collect immediate feedback from attendees via a Google form, not only to rate sessions, but also to provide insights on the overall experience. We've explicitly sought actionable feedback, ensuring that we could translate thoughts into tangible improvements in the future. And transparency in gathering and sharing this feedback has also been a key focus to help us build a bit of trust and to continuously refine the approach. Hopefully those of you who attended PeersCon 24, who are coming to PeersCon 25, will see some iterative improvements, stuff like lighting, screen usage, time, breaks, things like that. Now, closing thoughts here. Putting together PeersCon is a huge undertaking. It's worth every bit of effort. We're learning, improving and staying true to our values. Transparency, collaboration and community drive everything that we do. And we can't wait to see how PeersCon continues to evolve. If you're coming March 13th, I can't wait to see you there. Thank you for being a part of us. And let's hope we can grow into even more bigger and better things together. Thank you. Bye.